Women from the moment of conception to natural death. A party that celebrates life, protects children, and defends the rights of parents to have control over their own child's medical care. Isn't it funny how when it comes to Obamacare, President Obama and Kathleen Sebelius call our 26-year-olds children, but when it comes to the morning after pill, they call our 15-year-old girls women. You know, over the past year, we've heard a lot about women. We've heard about the war on women. We've heard about how the GOP needs to attract more women. And there's some truth to that. We absolutely need to be speaking to women, especially young women. The main reason it's so important for us as a party to be talking to women is that our opponents, the Democrats, are selling women short. When Democrats, through creepy and patronizing campaigns like Julia, tell women that they need government at every turn of their lives, Republicans need to be right there, reminding women that true empowerment comes from self-reliance and earned success. And when they give America whiny Sandra Fluck, we'll give them Condoleezza Rice. We'll give them Representative Lynn Jenkins and Governor Nikki Haley and our very own Lieutenant Governor Rebecca Clayfish. Strong women who earned their way up the political ladder and not on their husband's coattails. Subject of Hillary. I am proud to be part of a party who can be counted on to put America first. We do not leave our people on the battlefield, whether they are soldiers, Navy SEALs, State Department employees, or very own American ambassadors. Introduce you to someone who started his own career as a county prosecutor, championing women and children who were raped and abused. A man who just last week stood in the chamber of the House of Representatives and gave voice to a poor immigrant woman, a woman who couldn't even speak English and who lost her life at the hands of an abortionist. He also gave voice to scores of minority babies who were executed when they were born alive in one of the most horrendous and unspeakable fashions. Where there is selective concern for women and children, this man can be counted on to stand up and shine the light of justice and truth. While our next speaker is all of these things, he is first and foremost an exceptional and caring husband. A man who doesn't just talk about respecting women or equality of the sexes. He is a man who lives it in his own marriage. He's a man who has never forgotten the reason he got into politics in the first place. His 6 kids. Nothing defines Sean more than his love for his children. I can tell you that the time he spends away from his kids is the hardest part of his job. And it's the hardest part for our kids too. But thankfully, our children are troopers, and we are raising them to understand that as Christians and as Americans, we are all called to a life of service. It's an example that their father is setting for them every day. So, without further ado, let me introduce you to the husband, the father, the man you all worked so hard to elect last November, your representative, your voice in Washington, my husband, our Congressman, Sean Duffy.
So here we go. Listen, it's always a great thing to have your wife introduce you, but having to go after Rachel is always a little bit hard for me. So, great job, honey. It's awesome to have 6 kids, but I'm also so blessed to have Rachel as my wife. She's as you can tell from that speech, my far better half. And she's also my best friend. And I gotta tell you that I am living proof that we can win big if we just reach out to Latinos and we show them a little bit of love. Right, honey? All right. Hey, do we have the La Crosse County party here? Where are you guys over here? La Crosse County, hey! Listen, La Crosse County last year with Pam Johnson, they raised $50,000 for the Salvation Army, making sure they were helping out people in need in their community through the Salvation Army. Pam and the La Crosse County Party, great job. You guys make Wisconsin better. And I know that we have Jim Miller and the Sawyer County Republicans here. Where are you guys? Oh, there's Jim. Where's Sawyer County? There we go. Jim is Sawyer County. Hey, Jim. Hey, Jim was my first volunteer in the campaign ever. He was crazy enough to volunteer with us and Dave Obey. But Jim Miller led the way with the Sawyer County Republicans. They saw that kids in one of our communities on the reservation, they didn't have toys. So what did he do? He and his Republican friends, they did a toy drive to make sure kids on the reservation right next to Hayward had toys over Christmas. Jim Miller and the Sawyer County Republicans, you guys make Wisconsin better. La Crosse and Sawyer County, what was great is they didn't need an act of Congress, right? You saw a need, you stepped forward, and you met the need. It was great. Also, I know we have Paul and Pat Rondo here today. Paul, yes, there we go. And Pat, yeah. Listen, they were awesome in helping set forward our food bank. But not only that, they've stepped forward, and they've been helping raise food for the food pantry in Mosinee, making sure that people who are having a tough time putting food on their table are going to actually have food to eat. Paul and Pat, they make Wisconsin better, and we appreciate all your help. Thank you. And I know a lot of you helped bring food today for our food drive. I got to announce and tell you that we raised over 2,000 pounds of food for the Wausau area food pantries. Thank you very much. You all make Wisconsin better. Now, we know over the past couple years, we've had a pretty tough economy, right? It's been an Obama economy. This has been one of the longest and lamest recoveries since the Great Depression. And there's people in tough times. People who are having a hard time meeting their basic needs of food, shelter, and clothing. And so if when these people need that help, if they can't get it from their families or their communities or their neighbors, what do? They look to their government, right? And so if we want our government to do less, we have to do more, right? If we want the government to step back, we Republicans, we have to step forward. Conservatives progressives have always been exceptionally generous because they know that America is great because America is good. You know, we Republicans, we do a great job of using charts and graphs and talking to people's heads. But we have to do a little better job of talking to people's hearts and souls. Listen, we know that our policies of opportunity and earned success are more compassionate than the Democrat policies of mediocrity and dependency. But we need, that's right, thank you for the little applause. But we need to get better at communicating our compassion. We need to get better at communicating our philosophy of equal opportunity and access to the American dream. And that means that we have to have conversations with Americans we might not have talked to in a while. We can do this. We've done it before. Think Ronald Reagan winning blue-collar Democrats. Think of Jack Kemp and George Bush inspiring millions of Hispanics. All those Hispanics who wanted their shot at the American dream. We can do this. Now, while all of us here in this room, we're making Wisconsin better, President Obama, with his policies, is making America worse. He comes out and he tells me, he says, listen, I care. I care about you, your spouse, I care about your kids, your parents, I care about your job. He says he cares. He Obama cares, right? I don't know. I know what he cares about. I know he cares about his tea times with people like Tiger Woods. He cares about playing basketball with his NBA buddies. I know he cares about having parties at the White House with people like Justin Timberlake and Beyonce. And we have kids across America who have done bake sales to raise money to go to Washington, D.C. to see their house, to find that it's close to them, all the while it's open to Hollywood elites. That's not caring. He certainly doesn't seem to care about our free enterprise system, hard work, and upward mobility. In President Obama's American dream, the poor can only rise when the rich come down. That's not our America. In our free enterprise system, everyone is free to rise. He's holding us down by sowing the seeds of hope in the marble halls of government, by spreading the seeds of opportunity along the banks of the Potomac River, by casting the seeds of prosperity on the cold, hard concrete of Wall Street and K Street. As a result, 5 years into this presidency, we see Wall Street soaring, but we see Main Street struggling to get by. Actually, if you look at the top 10 wealthiest counties in America, 6 of them are suburbs of Washington, D.C. President Obama is making things worse. But I've got some good news for you. Because this is the first year in his last term in office. Which means there's only 1,357 days left. And when the president's gone in that 1,357 days, our free enterprise system will be unchained. America's innovative spirit will be unleashed, and we will rise. When we get back to planting seeds of hope in the heartland of America, we will rise. When we stop growing government and we start growing our small businesses, we will rise. When we stop creating crises in Washington and start growing jobs across America, we'll rise. From the banks of the Mississippi to the beautiful North Woods, and from the breweries of Milwaukee to the shores of beautiful Lake Superior, we will rise. From the cranberry bogs of Orange to the paper mills right here in Wausau, we will rise. We will rise in Wisconsin. We will rise in America.